Howdy folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into part 4 of my Lord of the Rings collection. We're just about halfway through, and we'll go ahead and continue on. And we have here a Legolas in Rohan armor, which, as you can see, compared to this one that I showed you in the last video, this one is more accurate. This must have been relabeled incorrect. Must have been labeled incorrectly. As you can see, Legolas in Rohan armor there. He's got the shoulder guard on there and the straps. And he has all of this Rohirrim weaponry. Well, he has his elven daggers and his bow. His Galadrim bow there with the arrows on there. Fortunately, no skateboard on this particular figure, and you can see that this particular version of Legolas is a closed mouth version, as opposed to that one where it's a slightly open mouth on there. And he's got part of his hair going to the front as well. And I actually like this version of Legolas, although he does still have the neck head combination there on the skull. And what are the gimmicks? I forgot to go over the gimmicks. It doesn't look like there are any gimmicks on this guy, so which is good. And so he probably has a whole bunch of articulation. Yeah, you can see the shoulder has a hinge. Elbows have a hinge, so do the knees, and probably swivel at the boots there, and articulation at the ankles on there, and which is nice. Now next we have a Helm's Deep, which is basically the original version of the trilogy edition skateboarding one on there. And as you can see, half open mouth on there. And the crappy skateboard thing on there. Okay, on to Aragorn. And as I mentioned, I think in part 1 of the video, just not happy with any version of Aragorn other than the Horse and Rider set, or at least the Two Towers Horse and Rider set. And mainly because they can't really get the likeness to Viggo quite right. I think it's just the actor. Just they have a hard time capturing the actor's likeness in the in figure form. And you can see Viggo there. I think he just has many different faces from different angles. I think that might be it. But even trying to capture him, though, it just doesn't look quite right. And this one here is the superposable Pelennor Fields Aragorn. And he has no action gimmicks. I guess they consider that superposability a gimmick. So, but which is nice. So you can pose this guy in probably all sorts of ways. He probably has the hinged ball shoulders, hinged double hinged elbows, I think. Yeah, double hinged elbows, probably swivel hinged wrists there. Doesn't look like he has a hinged neck though. And where's the packaging? The bottom of the packaging here. Can't really tell. You could see a hinged ankle joint there. Probably double knees, I'm sorry. And he has a swivel waist, but no torso on there. And you could see the Sword of the West on the reformed shards of Narsil into Andruil. I can't remember what the name is now off the top of my head. So I think it's Andruil or Flame of the West. I think that's it. Anyways, And just nice loads of detail on there. I love the chest armor there, the Tree of Gondor there. It really messed up with that open mouth. Wish they did not have an open mouth. And looks like I had 3 of these guys. I must have gotten this on super cheap clearance because I really hate that open mouth on there. Superpose it. Maybe I got it for a custom job to replace the head. I don't know. I can't remember now. And this here is the Aragorn from the Two Towers. And even worse head sculpt. This is a shitty, excuse me, head sculpt there. I don't know who they got to model for that. I don't know. And he does come with a whole bunch of accessories on there. It's kind of neat. He even comes with a bow because he is a ranger. So, and looks like he has some ball hinged shoulders, hinged elbows, hinged knees, probably hinged ankles there. Can't tell too much. And he's got a flaring coat on there. It just flares out to the side on there, so that kind of limits his posability right there. So, and you can see he has a button for a gimmick for launching of his bow, which is unfortunate. So even though his shoulders still look like they're ball hinged on both sides, so it may not be a bad thing. His head and neck though are one sculpt, which kind of blows. Okay. And we have here a Helm's Deep Aragorn with sword slashing action and yet another inaccurate head sculpt there. Pardon the dust, the layers of dust there. That just does not look like Vigo to me. And this one doesn't have too many accessories, although you can see the elven dagger back there, behind there. It's kind of neat. And it looks like you squeeze his legs to for the gimmick. And he does have hinged knees and hinged ankles. I don't know about the hips, but because of the gimmick I'm assuming there's no articulation at the hips. Probably just a swivel on there. Meh figure really. I got it for $6 back then. Now we're on to here to the Aragorn King of Gondor with Anduril. That's the name of the sword, Flame of the West. And this is the trilogy edition, and I don't believe he was released in this form in the original Return of the King line. So this is probably new for the trilogy edition, and look at that layer of dust on that. Anyways, this one is close to Vigo, not quite. And does he have an... yeah, he has a... according to the illustration, he does have a smallish button in the back on there. Can't tell because of the armor whether that limits the articulation of this figure or not. And can't tell what the articulation at the legs are. Oh, I can see it now. It's a hinged knee. Can't tell on... he's got a cut on the thigh, which is nice. And looks like hinged ankles there. And I really can't tell on the shoulders on that. But nice armored version of Aragorn. And I believe this guy is included in the coronation pack, the gift pack on there. And we have here Fellowship of the Ring, first release of Aragorn, or they call him Strider in the first movie, of course. And I believe Gearhawk might have a video on this one. I'm not sure. If he does, take a look at that one. And I got that one for $6 back in 2002. And but he does have a swivel bicep and hinged elbows there. And his gimmick is looks like squeezing his legs together, so his hips are probably limited. But take a look at Gearhawk's video if he has it on there. I think he has this particular version of Aragorn on there. And he comes with a cloak, and actually this one's not too bad on the head sculpt. Can't really tell with the cloak. Probably would look better without the cloak on there. And it looks like I had more than one. And taking a look here, we have Éomer in ceremonial armor. This is probably during the coronation sequence of Aragorn, or Elisar. I think he renamed himself Elisar at the crowning. But anyways, this one was $10 at KB. Look at the dust on that one. And this one's nicely designed. I really like the armor design on Éomer here. And his articulation at the neck though looks kind of limited. And not too good. He's got that sword slashing action from the Two Towers version of this guy, which kind of sucks. Even though he's got hinged elbows there, it's his waist that's limited on the articulation, which kind of blows. But anyways, he does have some nice armor. I really like that. It even has details on the cape there. It's kind of cool. On there. Onto Éowyn here. We have Éowyn in sword slashing action. And this is her in her unarmored version. She looks like she has a swivel cut neck on there. But she does have ball hinged shoulders, hinged elbows. Don't know what's going on the lower part of the figure. And if I can get this piece of cardboard out here, maybe you can take a peek. There we go. And no, I can't tell. It's too dark. But she does have a button on the back for her sword slashing action. But if you look at there on the shoulder, it's ball hinged. So it's probably ratcheted like her armored version. So it's probably not too bad. And I can't tell on the waist whether that swivels or not. But still a nice figure. I'm curious how rigid that skirt is, though. How much that would limit the articulation. It looks like I have more than one of Éowyn there, and I have Éowyn in armor, another one in package, and a third in package, and I have a third Éowyn in a dress. Oh, make that fourth. I have a ooh, look at the dust on that guy. I have a trilogy edition of Éowyn in a dress. Not sure why I have so many. Okay. On to Gandalf. And I have relatively few Gandalf figures. I have one that excuse me, from the Fellowship of the Ring. You can see the video on that one. And this one here is Gandalf the White. I like to call this one Gandalf the Dirty White, because he's not quite white. He's more of a cream color on here. And he has a gimmick with a button on the back. But you can't really tell on this one because of his cloak on there, and which should be green, but it's white. I'm not sure why that one's white. And he has looks like hinged shoulders and hinged elbows, hinged ankles. Can't tell what's going on underneath the legs there. It looks like a hinged knee there. But the likeness on this guy is very nice, very, very cool on there. So looking at the illustration here, I think the articulation's not too bad on there, because of that. You could see in the joint on there, you could probably work around that arm on there. And I also do have the Gandalf the Whiter. As you can see, the two versions here, much brighter white on this guy, which is a bit harder to find. This one, the Gandalf the Whiter, and you can see even the beard colors much whiter on there. And this is essentially the same as this one here. And we'll go ahead and break it off for part 4, and I'll see you next time.